This week it's party time for Scout, as it's Carnival in Grenada. We also finally tackle a project that's been a year in the making, which involves Scout touching a dock for the first time in months. And Nate pulls his hair out as he tackles another problem of his own creation. So where are we going tonight?
We're going Grenada's version of Friday night food shop. It's Saturday night food stalls.
Another Grenadian taxi experience. It's been decidedly a mixed bag. That's how we roll. Indo-Chinese, Szechuan chicken noodles, and then traditional Indian. Let's see what Kieran had. I hear good things about a sandwich. What is it? Holy cow, is that your sandwich?
Yeah.
Have you dug into it at all?
It looks like oxygen.
Oh my god.
Sage and Kieran got in. Well, everyone got in a fight, and we threw burrs in everyone's hair. Luckily, I didn't get any in mine.
I knew it!
Too much rollback.
Oh God, no!
It's time to go home. It's time to go home.
So perfect.
I had so much fun. And we had so much fun.
The last 2 mornings I've woken up to a dead generator starter battery. It was down to like 7 volts. I had my preheat relay wrong. I've been powering my glow plugs I don't know, for the last number of weeks. I don't know when that thing got wired wrong. It could be a couple months ago, geez. I don't know. It feels like a gremlin came down here 2 days ago and rewired it, but obviously that's not the case. So, we'll see. I think it should work now, but we'll see if I wake up to a dead battery tomorrow morning. Victron solar charge controller is still up. It has not fallen down yet. It's been all the day, so yay. I have run a line from the battery bank, which is amidships. I am going to connect that back to the charge controller. I don't have the panels up yet. I'm just going to hook the charge controller into the battery bank first. You get that up and running, you get all the settings going, and then when everything's all ready, you put the panels on it. Otherwise, you got 100 amps coming in, and you do anything wrong, you got 100 amps behind you, whereas right now, this is just a completely dead wire. The wires from the battery bank are not dead, so I got to be careful with those. Those are positive and negative. Gonna wire those up into the positive and negative for the battery for the charge controller, and go from there. I'm actually gonna plug them in and then connect them to there with the positive fused 100 amp fuse. So here we go. Downstream wiring done, the day finally came to install the arch. Adding a solar arch over the dinghy davits was something we wanted to do ever since we got the boat. We got some quotes to get the work done in Florida and found them to be prohibitively expensive. The work done in Grenada turned out fantastic and was about a quarter of the price. What's odd to me is that the material was much cheaper too. Anyway, it worked out great. Welding Company would have preferred doing the job with Scout on the hard, but we compromised to doing it on the dock. The first time Scout has touched the dock since Puerto Rico. Clark's Courtyard sure does pack them in. Alright, here we go. Fully installed arch. Trimming up the twist ties. You notice we got a very small gauge, so we have over 1,000 watts of solar here and only 12 gauge wire, really thin. Why is that? Because we have a lot of volts. I have these wired in series, so positive, negative, one positive coming out, one negative coming out. So this is actually putting out about 115 volts and only, 6 to 8 amps, which means 12 gauge wire is plenty. I will take you down to the engine room and show you how that plays out down there. Small 12 gauge wires coming in on the right from the solar panels. Large 2 gauge wires going out on the left from the solar charge controller on their way to the batteries. The charge controller takes in up to 150 volts, in my case around 115, and translates that down to 13 to 14 volts, which causes the amperage to increase from 8 to 70, for example. And amperage is what dictates wire gauge. So I've got positive and negative bus bars right behind me that run straight into the batteries. Solar charge controller is just 3 feet that way. I flipped the camera around. In theory, I could take the solar charge controller out wires, put them into those bus bars, call it a day. The power will get to the batteries. I did not do that. I sent the 2 gauge wires all the way up straight into the batteries. Why I do that is because the amps add up. If I had put those on the bus bar, even though I've got fat wires going from there to the batteries, the amperage could add up to too much. I could have run really fat wire, like 4-aught or something like that, from here up, but it was just easier for me to run much more workable wire up to the batteries themselves. So one thing to watch out for. Something else that seemingly every cruiser who has distance between their charge controller and batteries deals with is a voltage difference between the two locations. The hack is to increase the voltage limit at the solar charge controller before it goes into absorption. The better solution is to get them talking via Bluetooth, which sometimes requires an external Bluetooth dongle. Just starting to light out, so woken this morning to the sound of music in the hills. Both alluring and a little intimidating. We're going to see what Carnival and Grenada is all about.
Heading to the early morning jam jam! We have no idea what we're in for.
Grenada's Spicemas Carnival
of the 2-day celebration of emancipation. It kicks off at 3 or 4 a.m. on Monday morning, a wild party known as Juve or Jab Jab, where they break free from the darkness of oppression and embrace the strength of their heritage, making peace with the devil of their past. In the Jab Jab tradition, partygoers cover themselves in black oil, wear goat horns, and carry heavy chains, while losing themselves to the heart-thumping beats of the soca music. This is at once a terrifying and beautiful spectacle to behold. I'll be honest, I was a little afraid of what we might find. But for the most part, the spirit of the morning was rowdy, yes, but celebratory and welcoming. There were some weird and provocative costumes for sure, but I'm glad our family got to take part in this primal and exotic Grenadian tradition. After all, we all have our own darkness to overcome. And as Carnival continued to unfold, the devil, as they say, was overcome by the light.
Carnival, we decided to rinse off our sweat and have a nice, lovely swim.
We may need more than just salt water.
Anybody see the driver for the truck? That had to be a joke. This is crazy.
This is crazy.
By day 2, all the darkness of Jab Jab is gone from Carnival, and it's just one big celebration of color and beauty. Bearskin, bejeweled bodies, and lots of feathers from head to toe parade through the streets to music you can't help but move to, all in an intense expression of freedom and love for this moment. No matter if you're a boy or a girl, black or white, big or small, body imperfections disappear in the vibrance, and all that is left is the beauty of freedom. On the dinghy ride home, we experience a different kind of beauty, as if the world needed to balance itself. Everything was quiet and monotone. The horizon and the sea met in a stillness not often witnessed in Grenada. The sense of oneness was palpable. And it was a great reminder that there is freedom in this too. The horizon beckons. Join us next week as we hoist the sails.